Scott Jennings slams corporate media for pushing narrative over facts. 1000%. That's exactly what the corporate media, the mainstream media, the legacy media, the prostitutes, whatever you want to call them. That's exactly what they do. They push a narrative, and any facts that disagree, that's antithetical to their narrative, they leave out. I mean, how many times we've seen this? They leave out, they censor facts that go against their narrative. But we're gonna play the video and hear what Scott Jennings has to say about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Scott Jennings. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news now. This is like my third article, I think, today from Slate News. Slate News are putting out some good stuff today. The Slate News reports that CNN political commentator Scott Jennings dropped the hammer on the corporate media during a heated confrontation with one of his liberal colleagues. A CNN segment featuring Jennings and Democrat-aligned anchor Abby Phillip, who I'm definitely no fan of, took a combative turn during a discussion on declining trust in the corporate media. I mean, it's like, what, 20-something%? The media, trust in media have never been so low. And the reason why it's so low is because we see the lies and the propaganda that they put out there. And we have truth and facts on our side. And that's why another reason why they hate Elon Musk so much, because we have a platform where we can combat their fake news. But Jennings, a former advisor in the George W. Bush administration and a rare conservative voice on CNN, pushed back strongly against suggestions that the media trust issues are the result of partisan attacks rather than editorial missteps. During the segment, the panel discussed polling data showing continued declines in public confidence in legacy media outlets. Phillip raised the argument that a growing narrative has contributed to undermining trust in journalism. Well, if that's the case, how come all that propaganda and stuff when they are ganging up on Trump? If that's what the reason is that if that's the reason they lose public trust is because of the attacks. Look how much they attacked Trump, and Trump won another term. So it can't be the attacks on someone that's making them the attacks on them that's making them unpopular. It's the lies that they're putting out. But she blamed Republican politicians for allegedly fueling the anti-media narrative. There's always been people in government talking trash about the media. That's not the reason why people don't trust y'all. People don't trust y'all because y'all lie. You can only lie to someone so many times before they completely lose trust in you. And that's exactly what happened. But Jennings disagreed and pointed to a series of factual errors and editorial decisions by major networks over the past decade as the real cause behind the credibility gap. That's exactly what it is. There's so many things they lied to us about. But let's just get to the clip here. Here we go.
Hello, Scott, has taken advantage of this situation, I think, quite cleverly, quite wisely. They've played into a weakness.
What situation?
The situation of media being under attack. And so they've created a situation.
No, it's a situation. The media created this situation by their lies, by their propaganda. I mean, these people, they can't be real. They can't believe their own bullcrap. Let me rewind this up.
Scott has taken advantage of this situation, I think, quite cleverly, quite wisely. They've played into a weakness.
What situation?
The situation of media being under attack. And so they've created a situation
You've almost got it. Keep going. What the right wing is taking advantage of is finally the American people saying enough is enough. They're tired of feeling like the mass media screens out one viewpoint versus another in political coverage. They're tired of media institutions favoring one party over another. They're tired of narratives over factual stories. If I had any advice for 60 Minutes or anybody else, it would be just cover the news and try to be fair about it and stop putting your finger on the scale, especially during campaigns.
You're talking about the old mass media myth
There's no old mass media myth. Are you serious? How many times have the media? I did a video on it yesterday. How many times have the media straight up lied about things? I showed a list of them.
That you could have this thing that was in the middle, the Walter Cronkite saying, that's the way it is, when it wasn't for many Americans the way it was. When people were pissed off.
But people back in those days trusted the media, didn't they?
No, they just couldn't be heard. Because there was no two-way. Now we have the internet.
Look at the Gallup polling. It was here, and now it's here. It's fallen off of a cliff.
Yeah, we do have that Gallup polling about trust in media, and now, as in recent years, and let's be honest, Scott, a lot of this is driven by the rhetoric on your side of the aisle.
I
mean, it's not.
You think it's driven by the rhetoric and not the performance?
Absolutely. That's the question.
But my point is this.
But Congress is just as unpopular, so you can't say the rhetoric from Congress, because Congress is just as unpopular.
Yes. If you're CBS or any other news outlet, the reason that you have lost trust ought to be obvious to you, and the way to fix it also ought to be obvious to you, and it has nothing to do with Donald Trump and everything to do with the product. Just try to make a better product that appeals to more people, and the way you appeal to more people is by not crapping on half or more than half of the country because of their values and political viewpoints.
I think that is a fair, just if we were sort of on another planet, out of context.
What is she talking about? If fair, if you're on another planet, out of context. What is she talking about right now? We're talking about the media straight up lying. The CNN has yet to issue any formal statement following the on-air exchange. However, the clip has gained traction online as another example of growing tension between media commentators and network hosts over editorial bias and the public's perception of the press. The segment reflected a broader trend in which political media outlets continue to face scrutiny from both sides of the political spectrum over accuracy, impartiality, and transparency in reporting, which we have absolutely none in when it comes to the mainstream media. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.